for me, it's making things really simple and really generous. Well, I actually quite like isolation. As an artist and a parent, I often find that my attention is spread really thin. I really love my job as an educator, and it's really meaningful. But between that and parenting and an art practice, and also kind of the social demands of staying active in the art world, it often feels like I don't have a lot of time to do for sort of contemplation and experimentation and, making things that don't necessarily have a final destination that's already set. So that's actually been really lovely and fruitful to remember how to just kind of make things experimentally. As it became clear that this was sort of going to continue indefinitely, we switched our energy to getting the house ready to be in isolation together. There are 4 of us. We have 2 kids, and they were sharing a room, and they needed their own room to do online learning in. So, and now we're in this really big what was a sunroom, and I've put together a little workspace in the corner. For the first time, I have a dedicated space in the house to work, which is really lovely. And so, yeah, it's been actually quite positive for me in that regard. In terms of constraints, there is a sense of uncertainty and anxiety, not just in the art world, but I think everywhere, that we don't really know what we're going to be coming out to. So many areas of life feel like they've been marked indelibly by this, and certainly the art world, this big project that I've put on hold, I don't really know exactly where it's going to go when we come out. So, yeah, there's definitely some anxiety around that. So the big video project, really, there was so much that just wasn't feasible to do in isolation. I need to learn how to walk on stilts and have a crew and get permission to shoot on locations. So that's really all been put aside. And I didn't really have anything else to fill that void at first, which is not a great place for me, because I really do need to work for my own, well-being. It's funny though, because we were away for a few months last year. As a family, we were in Europe, and I didn't have access to my studio and all of my big projects. So I started a little watercolor practice that we could do while we were traveling, and making funny little zines. So it's been quite nice. It has felt quite natural to just kind of revert back to that. So at the moment, I'm making these zines quite frantically, actually. And yeah, on the one hand, I don't really, I'm not making them for an audience specifically. But on the other hand, there is this kind of desire to close the loop a little bit. And that's been really interesting as well, to see that it's not just needing to make things, it's also needing to give those things to people and have people receive them. And that's sort of not that's just part of the process, I guess. So zines are really great because they're really easy to disseminate. So I'm just kind of printing them at home and, sending them to people. I'm just about to mail out a big batch of them just to pretty much anybody who has expressed any interest in them, on the internet. The little stories that I've posted about them, if somebody says, oh, they look great, I go, I will send you one. And, it's actually been really lovely and a really nice way to connect with people, because that's not something that I always know how to do easily. So it's been a really nice way to get conversations going, and people are saying, I'll send you my thing. And yeah, so it's actually felt really fruitful. Just a little way to kind of keep that channel open of not just making, but communicating with people and having things be received. It's really lovely. I know a lot of us have felt really disposable in this time, and I know that's not just artists. That's lots of people have lost their jobs. But early on, it did feel really superfluous, I think, to make things, and that felt like a really big loss. But yeah, that's been part of the joy of just making these little watercolor zines, is that when I say to people, oh, I'll send you one, there's just been a lot of really genuine joy in receiving, and then that in turn has really fed me and made me want to make more. So I think for me, it's making things really simple and really generous, and that's not to mean they can't still be big ideas and critically engaged and all of those lovely juicy things that we love about art. But for me personally, it's been about making things that people don't need anything special to appreciate. Those are the things that I'm attracted to. You don't need kind of a special education or special knowledge to understand them. They're just kind of quite direct and generous.